All right, today we're diving into something I think is really fascinating. We're going to look at how you compare an ancient practice, yoga, with a super popular modern trend, intermittent fasting, and create this amazing, sustainable way to lose weight. Let's get into how these two actually work together. So, a lot of us have heard about intermittent fasting, right? It gets all this praise for burning fat and revving up your metabolism. But let's be real, the day-to-day can be a total grind. You're fighting off hunger pangs, your mood is all over the place, and you hit those energy slumps. But what if there was a way to get all those incredible benefits without the constant struggle? Okay, so first, let's just quickly break down what intermittent fasting is and talk about those common hurdles that make it so tough to stick with for the long haul. Just as a quick refresher, IF isn't really a diet, you know? It's not about what you eat, it's all about when you eat. It's basically a pattern that cycles between a time for fasting and a time for eating. And you've probably heard of the big ones, the 16-8 method, the 5-2, or the super disciplined 1 meal a day, which people call OMAD. You know, this slide really shows the two sides of the coin. The promise is huge. We're talking major fat burning, a better metabolism, and even this thing called autophagy, which is basically your body's cellular cleanup crew getting to work. But the problems are just as real. You've got those killer cravings, the moodiness, the stress, and all kinds of digestive weirdness. This is that friction point where so many of us just give up. And this is really important to call out. Intermittent fasting is not for everybody. Seriously, if you have any kind of pre-existing health condition like diabetes or low blood pressure, it is absolutely essential that you talk to a healthcare professional before you even think about starting. So, how do we deal with all those challenges to actually get the rewards? How can we get the good stuff from fasting without all the bad stuff? The solution, as it turns out, might just be the missing piece of the whole puzzle: yoga. I love this quote from our source material because it just nails it. Yoga is so much more than just stretching. It's a practice that helps you get sustainable results by bringing your body back into balance. And that balance is exactly what you need to fight the stress that fasting can cause. So how does this actually work on a biological level? Well, it all has to do with your parasympathetic nervous system. Think of it as your body's rest and digest mode. Fasting can kind of put your body into a stress mode, but yoga helps flip the switch, activating this calming system and bringing your body and mind back to a state of ease. Okay, now let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to explore the 3 main ways that a regular yoga practice can seriously boost your fasting journey, making it not just easier, but way more effective. Yoga basically supercharges your fast in 3 key ways. It gets your digestion on track, it dramatically lowers your stress, and it gives you way better control over your appetite. Let's take a closer look at each one. First up, digestion. When you change your eating schedule, things can get uncomfortable. Bloating, discomfort, you know the drill. But certain yoga poses, especially twists and forward folds, are like an internal massage for your digestive system. They improve gut motility and just help everything run a whole lot smoother. Now, before our next point, we have to talk about the villain of the story, cortisol. It's the stress hormone. See, fasting is great, but your body can see it as a stressor, which makes your cortisol levels go up. And the big irony? High cortisol leads to cravings and tells your body to store fat, especially right around your belly. In this is where yoga works its magic. The poses and, just as important, the breathing techniques have been proven to directly lower those cortisol levels. So you're actively calming your body's stress response, which stops that hormonal reaction that can completely sabotage your weight loss goals. And finally, appetite. Let's be honest, maybe the biggest challenge of fasting is that urge to just binge the second your eating window opens. Yoga helps you build mindfulness. It teaches you to actually listen to your body, so you can tell the difference between real, physical hunger and a craving that's just born from stress or habit. All right, so now that we get the why, let's get practical. This next section is your toolkit. We're talking specific, actionable poses and breathing techniques you can start using right away to support your fast. Here are 3 awesome poses to try. Navasana, or boat pose, is amazing for your core and really fires up your digestion. Ardha Matsyendrasana, that's a seated twist, helps your body's natural detox processes. And a simple Uttanasana, a standing forward fold, is just incredible for boosting circulation and fighting off any bloating. And please don't forget your breath. It's such a powerful tool. Kapalabhati is this energizing breath that can help boost your metabolism and clear away that brain fog. And Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, which is just gently closing one nostril as you breathe in and then switching, is unbelievably calming for your nervous system. It's perfect for managing stress and cravings. Okay, so we've got the tools. Now let's talk about actually putting them into practice. We'll go over how to build a routine you can actually stick with, and, just as important, what common mistakes you'll want to avoid. And look, this shows you just how simple it can be. You could start your morning while you're still fasted with some gentle yoga. Then, right before your first meal, maybe do a few twisting poses to get your digestive system ready. And after your last meal, some relaxing stretches can help with digestion and get you ready for a good night's sleep. So here are the main things to do. Definitely focus on gentle, restorative movements during your fasting hours. Do stay super hydrated. Water is your best friend here. And do break your fast with real, nutrient-dense foods to give your body what it actually needs. And on the flip side, what to avoid. Please avoid pushing yourself through super intense workouts while you're fasted. It just puts way too much stress on your system. And definitely avoid breaking your fast with heavy, processed junk food. It pretty much cancels out all the good work you just did. Oh, and it's really worth mentioning this because this whole combination is so good at balancing your body's stress and hormones. It can be especially helpful for women, maybe even helping with things like PCOS and supporting overall thyroid health. So really the big takeaway is this. The goal isn't more restriction. It's about finding more balance. When you pair that metabolic reset from fasting with the calming, balancing effects of yoga, you create a holistic and, most importantly, a sustainable path to well-being. You know, this combination really offers a powerful way to get more in tune with what your body truly needs. So I guess the real question is, are you ready to find your balance? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.